Man, when I tell you that this recent binge watch of Dragon Ball Z has brought a new perspective in my eyes, I feel like I just activated my Mangekyo Sharingan and added a little Byakugan to the mix. Now this man, Supreme Kai, might be the biggest fraud in DBZ history. Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably like, nah, Mr. Hercule is the biggest fraud and it's not even close. But the difference between him and the Supreme Kai is that we were already familiar with his game. We saw him get exposed multiple times in the Cell Saga, so it was just a regular day in the office for him. But with the Supreme Kai, the sky was basically the limit. We didn't know what this man was capable of. Supreme Kai was actually one of my favorite characters growing up. I remember playing as him all the time in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 because I just loved his moveset and the fact that he could teleport instead of sidestepping like most of the characters in the game. But now that I think about it, his moves were ass low-key. Like, the only good moves he had was the Shockwave and the move where he throws that big-ass block. He only had a good moveset in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and he hasn't been the same since. The first time we see him, he's dripped up, rocking a white mohawk looking like a created character in an RPG game with the aura of Jesus Christ. He's basically telling Goku that he wants to fight him in the tournament. They shake hands, and Goku actually looks surprised. He's like, damn, this nigga strong? Which I call cap on that because Goku has Super Saiyan 3 in his back pocket the whole time, so ain't no way the Supreme Kai was moving like that. Hold on, nigga, you didn't think I was gonna let that Saitama fake ass smile you gave Goku in the beginning of the Buu Saga slide, did you?
Get him.
Boy, if you don't get your Saitama smiling, hot topic dressing, edgelord looking ass up out of here. But low-key, peep how Piccolo reacted to them. This man was sweating the whole time. He was like, they got power, but they don't have regular power like we do. While everybody's getting their name pulled, Supreme Kai's just chilling. His aura is so divine that Goku's wondering how he does it. Well, the answer is simple, by being weak. Then they pan back to Piccolo once again, looking stressed out. Eyes closed, body shaking, and sweating once again. You would have thought this man had the flu or something right now the way he was looking. And this is when I slowly started to realize that Piccolo was only meant to be the Supreme Kai's #1 hype man in the Buu Saga. Piccolo and Supreme Kai finally faced off in the ring, and it went exactly how you thought it went. Supreme Kai's just standing there in the ring, smiling and staring at Piccolo.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Piccolo's just standing there sweating like dudes when the baddies pull up, and he's about to damn near collapse in the middle of the ring. Piccolo finally connects the dots and realizes who Shin is. Shin gets cocky and tells Piccolo, let's start fighting. Now, knowing what we know now, Piccolo should have taken that chance and exposed him early on. Piccolo starts gassing him up and tells everybody that the Supreme Kai is really like that.
I'm really like that.
And everybody shouldn't fight him. The way this man Piccolo was acting, you'd think that the Supreme Kai was the big bad of the arc, and he was looking like Thanos, which is the perfect example. Remember that nigga that was gassing up Thanos in the beginning of Infinity War? Or better yet, Bruce, when he was telling everybody about Thanos after getting watched by him? That's literally Piccolo right now. So the Supreme Kai walks past Popovich and gives him the meanest stare ever. But Piccolo pulls up and is like, are you the Grand Kai? But Kibito tells him that he's the Supreme Kai. This is where I started to think that this was Kami the whole time in the Buu Saga and not Piccolo, who's facing off against Shin, because Piccolo would have never acted like that. Man's pulled up on Broly, Frieza, Cell, the androids, Bojack, anybody. If you was worth pulling up on, Piccolo was pulling up with no hesitation. But the minute he fuses with Kami, that boy had him looking scared. Spopovich is giving Videl the beating of a lifetime, and the Supreme Kai notices Gohan's power and was like, hold up, we might be looking at the wrong person. Then he gets to plotting and is like, you know what to do. Buddy, I don't even know what you're up to, so how am I supposed to know what to do? Supreme Kai tells him that no matter what happens, don't interfere with the match. Vegeta gets to talking reckless like the GOAT he is, and Piccolo tells him to chill out, that's the big homie Supreme Kai. Everyone is shook and don't know what to do with this news. Shin warns them that Gohan is going to get jumped after he transforms. And then they show this man Piccolo sweating, once again.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I'm like, bro, the jig is up. You don't have to be afraid of him anymore. He's reaching Vegeta in the first Broly movie levels of glazing at this point. Supreme Kai says Gohan is the strongest fighter at the tournament, and that right there should have been the first red flag that he was not him. I mean, Gohan has the most potential out of everybody in the show. Second would be Gohan and Goten and Trunks. They would be second. But the Gohan that we see right now is not even the same Gohan that was in the Cell Saga. So the fact that Supreme Kai called him the strongest fighter while you got Goku and Vegeta standing next to you is crazy. Like, mans didn't even let Goku and Vegeta power up yet. But they made him regret that later on. And then they showed Piccolo sweating once again. And I was ready to take his black card right then and there. After watching Gohan get sucked up dry, no diddy, Supreme Kai and the others chase after Spo and Yamu. Supreme Kai tells them about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo and how powerful Majin Buu is, and that they must stop him from resurrecting him. Goku asks the Supreme Kai, if you're so strong, why didn't you just finish him off? No diddy. And he says because it wasn't worth it and he was afraid of accidentally releasing him.
What?
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Like, what?
Do your fucking job.
That's not what we want to hear. Do your job. That's what you're supposed to, that's what you're getting paid to do. You're supposed to be the guardian of the galaxy, pun intended, or the guardian of the universe. Like, what? Like, that's not what we want to hear. They get to the hideout and are scoping it out, and out comes Bobbidi and Deborah. Supreme Kai starts glazing them up, and Vegeta calls him out on it by saying, I know you're not scared, are you? Aren't you supposed to be stronger than us? And this is where things started to get shaky for the Supreme Kai's resume. Deborah smells mid in the air and completely obliterates Kibito, giving him the facial of a lifetime. Then he spits on Krillin and Piccolo, and the Supreme Kai is like, I should have warned them. Nigga, you mean to tell me that you're so bad at your job that you forget to warn people about a man that can turn people into stone with just his spit?
You stink! Let me just get that out the way. You stink!
No wonder Beerus isn't canon yet. This nigga probably forgot all about him. Gohan and the rest are going after Deborah, and Supreme Kai tells them that the best plan is to wait for them to come out. Which is a dumb plan, I might add, because they could have revived Majin Buu while they were sitting outside waiting for them. But Vegeta tells them to shut his weak ass up and watch us do your job. Supreme Kai says that they're all fools and follows along. At this point, Supreme Kai is not even trying to pretend he's him anymore. Mans is just sweating like Piccolo was earlier.
You're not him.
After Vegeta makes Pui Pui look the way you pronounce his name, Supreme Kai is like, damn, maybe I was wrong about my statement earlier. Now there's no way you can convince me that the Supreme Kai was just living under a rock or something, because he was gassing the fuck out of Yakan, calling him the most dangerous creature ever, and is like, see, I told y'all, Yakan got that dog in him. And I'm like, did you watch the Frieza Saga and the Cell Saga on GodTube? Where are you getting this information from? Then the Supreme Kai snaps when he realizes that Goku and them see this as a game and that they should jump these niggas and call it a day. Now I know this is a Supreme Kai slander video, but he was actually spitting and sounded like an actual guardian. Goku starts gassing up Gohan because he thinks he should be even stronger than he was as a kid. But Vegeta straight up says, nah, he stinks, and we're way stronger than Gohan, even at our base form. And the Supreme Kai is just chilling in the back like, how did these mortals slip under our radar? I'm the Supreme Kai. I should have known about their potential. Be careful now, Supreme Kai. You're starting to sound like Zamasu. Now that I think about it, Shin probably would have ended up just like Zamasu if he would have got exposed by Goku or Gohan. But it probably would have been a weaker version of the Zero Mortal plan. During Gohan's fight, Deborah notices that Vegeta is getting pissed off because of how weak Gohan has become, and then this man telepathically tells Bobbidi about a new plan. And this is what bothers me. You mean to tell me that the Supreme Kai, who read Piccolo and Vegeta's mind with ease, somehow can't read what Deborah is saying? Unless Bobbidi's tattoo gives the person the ability to block mind reading, there's no excuse for him to not catch on to their plan quicker. Vegeta starts popping off and the Supreme Kai tries to get him to calm down, and Vegeta aims his ki blast at him. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. I might have to make a Vegeta video as well, because I forgot how angry this man was in the Buu Saga. Like, this man was just popping off on everybody just because he wanted to fight freaking Goku, bro. I might have to make a video on him. After Vegeta gets tatted up, Supreme Kai tries to get Vegeta and Goku to not fight, but Goku wasn't having any of it and pointed the ki blast at him as well. Now, Supreme Kai should have just kept his mouth shut throughout the whole arc after this moment, because this man got threatened to get put on a t-shirt back to back. Like, you're a god and none of these niggas respect you. Like, at least flex a little bit or something, bruh. Like, hell, do what you did to Piccolo. Now I understand why Beerus is always on his head in Dragon Ball Super, because he's constantly putting his life in danger. While Goku and Vegeta deliver us the greatest fight of all time, Gohan and Supreme Kai try to stop Babidi and Dabura from reviving Buu. Spoiler alert, they failed. Buu had this man shook. All the memories came flooding back, and the Supreme Kai was trying to run back home and hide under his bed. Supreme Kai starts ranting about how he should have kept a close eye on his universe and how the other plan would have worked. Which I ask again, what the hell has he been doing this whole time? I get why Beerus wouldn't pay no mind, because he eats and sleeps every second of the day, so he wouldn't know what's going on. But your job is to watch the universe, and you decided not to pay attention to Earth because of your PTSD? That is just nasty work right there. Buu pulls up on him and he's like, "You remember me?" And he tries giving him the facial Dabura gave Kibito, but Buu brushed it off like it was nothing. Buu smacks his man one time and he's already looking like he's one step closer to seeing King Yama. I give him props though. When it came down to it, he was doing everything he could to kill Buu. But Buu took those efforts and returned it tenfold. Mans was jumping on him, hitting cartwheels, the whole nine. It's like he was getting warmed up for the mollywhopping he was going to give Vegeta later on. Now, after a humiliation like this, you would probably think he would call up Beerus or Whis. Hell, even hop in the hyperbolic time chamber to get his lick back. But what does he do? He runs away and fuses with Kibito.
Oh my god!
Now, the only thing this did was make him the fastest person on the planet, which we know now thanks to Birder that doesn't really amount to much. But I'm gonna keep it a buck though. I think the Supreme Kai in the original timeline was a lot more better than this version that we got of him now. At least that's how he looked in the Dragon Ball Super manga and in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's like they were watching from the sidelines and was like, let's not make that same mistake twice. In the game and in the manga, they showed him being a little bit more helpful with training Trunks to learn healing techniques and stuff, and they even showed him in the field putting in work against Babidi and Dabura, even though it cost him his life though. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the Supreme Kai and his fraudulence. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.